Yo, what's happening, YouTube? It's your boy CB back with another Huddle Watch Along. But on today's Watch Along, I got a special guest. I have one of the most dominant receivers in South Florida, not just South Florida, in high school football, period. Reigning state champion, coming off of a tremendous year, 40 catches, 700 yards, 12 TDs. He is just an absolute weapon on offense. Y'all give it up for Jose Leon, one of the best wide receivers in the 2024 class and the Appalachian State commit. What's up, Brody? How's it going?
Doing good. Happy to be here.
Hey, so we were talking a little bit about what your summers are like before we hit record. Right now, you're relaxing, getting ready for the season, but tell everybody, how's your prep been ready to defend your state championship this year?
Well, we have a great strength coach. We have Coach Swayze. He was a legend at UM, coached at FIU. So we have a great strength coach, a great staff to push us, and we got a lot of young guys that are ready to step up and be leaders and take accountability. So we just been grinding and doing what we have to do and show up like every day to work.
Does it feel different for you coming into this year being the team that other teams now want to dethrone? Is that a different position for you?
It's definitely different. Like I had to emphasize to my team from day one. I was like, we have to take off that state championship of last year. Like this is a whole new team, a whole new offense, whole new players. So we can't come in here like on a high horse. We have to come in here with a different attitude, and we have to surpass what we did last year. So it's definitely different in that aspect. But our coaches are ready to take us back to where we were. So we'll be okay.
And as a senior on the team, and obviously one of these star players on the team, with young guys coming in, do you feel like this year you're going to take on much more of a leadership role, of a mentor role? Because you know there was a receiver you probably watched growing up thinking, I'm gonna be the next him. There's a freshman right now, there's a sophomore at Columbus that's looking at you, that's going, I'm gonna be the next Jose.
Yes, sir. I mean, what like I used to like to lead by example, and I would like kind of just stay quiet and focus on myself. But I had a meeting with my coaches, and they were like, you have to be a little more vocal. And I was like, you're absolutely right. Like, there's room for improvement with my leadership. So definitely this year, I've taken a bigger role with leading my guys, but they've been nothing but supportive. I try to push them, and they're already pushing themselves. So they make my job very, very easy. So.
And that's how you win, man, with everybody on board, everybody pushing each other. To that end, let's get into these highlights. This is, when I say a phenomenal year this young man had, we're going to get into it right now. Coming off of a big year, 700 yards, 12 touchdowns. You see him in the slot here. One of the nastiest route runners in the class. What is your favorite route to run, bro?
Probably like a whip route. Like that route, it'd be a slant, and then if I ran a slant and just whipped right back out,
Ooh,
I don't think.
plucked it out the sky. Come on. So we just going to juke two people like it's nothing here. Ooh, in the open field. Then put on the afterburners. Go ahead, boy. That's something that you see constantly on your film. After the catch, just a weapon after the catch. In the state championship game in the slot here, had you, man, with somebody that had no business. Another nasty move at the top of the route. Oof! Come on, Jose. Come on now. What was this like for you playing in this big game atmosphere?
Oh, it was crazy. I was hurt for 3 weeks before that game, so I was genuinely nervous. And seeing that crowd of 7,000 people, it was the biggest crowd I've ever been in front of. But we practiced for that moment, so I was more than ready.
Was that your favorite performance you had last year, the state championship game?
Yeah, that touchdown was by far my favorite.
And we see you here again after the catch, making people miss in a phone booth, afterburners, and then you got vision for the end zone like a running back when the ball is in your hands.
Absolutely.
It's like from the second you get the rock, it's like you scan the field like RoboCop looking for daylight. You see you constantly looking for daylight. And then once you find the daylight, boom. Are you a track guy? Or is this just pure football speed?
Well, I ran track since I was 6 years old, and I recently not stopped, but I've focused more on football. Like once I got to high school, but this is only my third year playing receiver, so that whole like running back aspect it's because I played running back my whole life. And then once I got to high school, I
That
switched. So
makes perfect sense. So what was that transition like for you, going from someone who was used to running in between the tackles, taking punishment, to now you're in space and you can tell you enjoy. See, this is starting to make sense. With the ball in your hands in space now, you probably feel like it's a cheat code because you're used to being in the box.
yeah, it's honestly, as soon as I have the ball in my hands, that's when it gets very easy for me.
Because you turn back into a running back.
Yeah.
That's fascinating. Did you find, because one of the things you do notice about your route running is it's very crisp. It's smooth. Again, another smooth double move. Did you find learning to diagnose coverages easy when you made that transition?
It took me a little minute. Like my freshman year and sophomore year was a lot of learning and like just like you said, like concepts, coverages, routes. But like I worked a lot on it, and once I picked it up, it kind of just clicked for me, and it became easy.
Now here you go here with the quick foot fire inside. When you see somebody lined up on you and they're not going to get hands on you, do you just feel like, I feel bad
It's
for
very
you?
easy. Yeah, yeah. If you don't put hands, like those annoying DBs that are grabbing you and like tugging you, like I respect those guys because those are the ones that are annoying to beat. But once you're pressed on me and you give me room to work with, I don't think there's a guy in the country that can really hang with me.
So on plays like this, do you and your quarterback have a bit of a silent communication where you know, hey, look, I got man. This is, I don't really care what it's
Yeah.
called. I have do y'all have that relationship built up now where he can look at a defense and know what you're thinking and vice versa?
Yeah, it's very weird. Like we don't say a single word, but once it's man to man, like I have complete trust in him to put a ball right in my chest, and he already knows if they're man to man, whether it's a slant, a corner ball. Like that's one thing that me and him have very good. So we don't even speak about it, but we definitely have that connection where we know.
And shout out your QB here, man, for those listening that may not know.
Alberto Mendoza, he's the most underrated, not even quarterback, underrated player in the country. He's by far gonna make it very far when he goes to college, and I'm so excited to see how he continues to prove people wrong because that kid's a dog, and he's gonna be a very good football player.
That's one thing too you notice when you watch a lot of receivers, their quarterbacks start to stand out to you. You go, okay, who is, like, the first time I watched Josiah Trader, I was like, okay, who is his quarterback though? Because
Yeah,
sometimes, when you have an elite playmaker like this, when you have a Jose Leon, you tend to see things like this with fantastic adjustment. For someone who did not start out playing receiver, you are a bit of a natural at it. This is not an easy catch to make. Literally going to the pylon and adjusting your body, all hands too. That's another thing you notice with Jose. It's all hands. You don't see body catches. You don't see forearm catches. You see hands.
yeah. I think I mean I played a little bit of flag football like here and there, and like I've always had like a nag. Like I've never had a problem catching the ball, but I can't really tell you why it's easy for me at receiver. At running back, that's very easy, but at receiver, it kind of just made sense for me as soon as I started playing it.
That was your natural position. You didn't even know it. Now, this here, I've rewinded this 3 times because I need people to see this move you put on him. Sir, you got to name this. Like a wrestler, you got to start naming some of these moves because people are going to steal them from you.
Yeah, I'm knowing.
Who is your biggest inspiration when it comes to receiver? Who do you like watching to model your game after?
Definitely Julian Edelman, just because I grew up like he was he was just like the guy that reminded me of myself, 5'10", not the fastest, not the biggest, but ran smooth routes, did what he had to do to get open. So I would definitely say him.
And this play here, wanted to highlight this as well. This is just recognition here. Your quarterback's in trouble. You realize not open. I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna follow my quarterback. Let me get my hand up. Boom. Turn nothing into something. A broken play now is a 50-yard gain against a hell of a defense.
Yeah, the Central's a
That's that.
very good team.
That's that. Is that so? Is that someone you're looking forward to next year?
Oh, I can't wait. I love all those guys I played with in Little League, and I tell them all the time, like, win, loss, draw, like, I love playing against Central. They're such a great team.
Speaking about that, you come from one of, I don't know how you guys put a roster together like this. The Miami Gardens Ravens is one of the greatest teams ever put together. What was it like playing on the same field as a bunch of other elite talent like Ryan Mack and Josiah Trader and Chance Robinson? That's that, that iron sharpens iron. Tell us what that was like, and your early years of football as well.
Yeah, for early years, by the time I was 10 years old at like some small park called Tamiami Park, I was already the best player before I even got like puberty yet. So then once Coach Rob Mack found me, he told me like, come on, like come play for the best team in the country. And I was like, let's do it. And I would be lying to you if I said it was easy, because boy, going with all those 5 stars, like I wasn't. That was my first year playing receiver. I was getting jammed. I was losing. I would come home from practice, crying like I don't understand this. Like how are they so good? Like how can I be like them? But I give all my credit to Coach Ron Mack and those kids, because they help elevate my game so much, and I'm just so grateful for that team in general.
So speak about that, what it's like, because a lot of times people don't understand, even when you play 7-on-7, when you see a team like Raw, when you see a team like SFE, this is the cream of the crop. And even someone like you who came from dominating, it's still a bit of a transition when you go to what's essentially an all-star team.
Yeah. I
Because
mean,
you look at some of these 7-on-7 teams, and it's the cream of the crop. It's nothing to see you, Josiah and Chance. Imagine being a DB has to walk up and deal with this.
no, I would be terrified. I would if I saw any of those receivers. Me, I'm the 5'10". I'm not the fastest, so they'll have confidence against me. But seeing Josiah Trader and Chance Robinson and Wayne McCoy and Jeremiah Smith, I would be terrified personally. Those guys are monsters.
Jose, this is misplaced confidence. If anyone lines up against you confident, thinking one-on-one, this was a confident DB that lined up one-on-one against you. And there we see an NFL catch, getting 2 feet down. What do you attribute that body control to? We've seen it on a couple of plays now. You've got great body control, great balance.
I think it's more about
Great
the
hands.
ball. Like when I go to the ball, then everything becomes easier. If I just focus on the ball and I just play off my instincts, I think like my body kind of just does the rest of the work.
And what kind of player is Jose when he's having a good game? When you balling, when you didn't had 10 catches, are you talking on the field, or are you quiet?
So I used to be quiet, and unfortunately, I've learned that you have to stand out some way somehow. And if I've already scored once on you, I'm gonna start talking, and don't let me score twice, because then I'm gonna start talking real crazy. But yeah, I get to talking for very specific games, Palmetto, Central, big games like that. I love talking because
you
I don't
see
mind
the
it.
you see the fire here. A lot of receivers there are feeling the footsteps. They know that you're going to take a hit. I'm going to make the catch. I'm going to take a hit. But you instantly got up and let him know this still ain't your highlight. First down. What
Hmm.
what do you what do you attribute that fire to? That passion for the game.
I want to say my dad, like he would always tell me like it's you versus them, and I used to always feel bad for kids and be like I don't want to embarrass anybody, but like he would always tell me like listen, like people are gonna try to embarrass you, you need to have that dog. And I learned that you need to stand out some way somehow, and if you're just quiet, you really won't stand out like that.
And receivers, sometimes you just got to be a little flashy. Here,
Exactly. Well,
another great example of your instincts and just football know-how. Finding a spot in the zone. Your quarterback, again, great chemistry, recognizing that you're going to find a spot in the zone, putting the ball where you can catch it. Beautiful. It's almost like you can tell you guys have great chemistry. You're really in sync with each other. And this is them just using you as a playmaker here. Just a quick screen on the outside, making the first man miss, making the second man fall.
Yeah, he tripped me up. I wish I would have stayed up here, but he got me.
Almost right,
Yeah.
just a little bit. Hey, do they let you return?
So they didn't let me return last year because they wanted to use returning as like like ways to get guys in. But I might ask for it this year. I don't know if it's gonna be kick return or punt return, but I'll do one of them this year. Just
With
but
is that something you're looking to do at the next level too? Because this ability in the open field, it screams return.
yeah, I love punt returning. Like when the ball's high in the air and like people are coming, like I never really drop it, so I love it, and I just think like all that space is so good for me. So I'm more of a punt return type of guy, but I can do both, and you'll definitely see some highlights from my senior year. I'm definitely gonna ask and let them know that I want to do it. So
Do you find catching punts easier than kicks? Because I always felt like kicks were easier to catch.
sorry, you glitched out. What'd you say?
Do you feel like punts are easier to catch or are kicks easier to catch? I always felt like kicks were easier to catch than punts.
Yeah, kicks are definitely easier because it's like 99% of the time it's straight to you and like a perfect kind of like
Yeah.
rotation. But I just love punt returning because it's like once I have all that open space, and everybody's all scattered everywhere. With kick return, it's like you have a job, like people are coming at this certain lane, like you have to pick a lane and run. Like punt return,
Yep.
I'm kind of free, so that's why I like it more.
And you make a couple people miss on punt return and assignments are gone. And now again, just like your dad said, it's you against everybody now.
Exactly, absolutely.
Now, how much did you really enjoying playing in space factor into your decision for Appalachian State that has a wide open offense, something where we know their offensive coordinator when he turned on your film and he saw you, we know he was glowing. How much did that offense factor into your decision?
Go like just looking at like the film and like seeing the plays that they run. I'm like, man, Columbus runs that play, over and over and over. And one of their best receivers, number 17, he played at Deerfield Beach. He's a small wide receiver, 5'10" maybe, and he's killing it out there. So I'm like, I don't see why I can't do what he's doing and more. You get me? So immediately the offense fit for me. The coaching staff, they were very cool. I could definitely see myself thriving there.
Yeah, and one of the things you love about your tape too is your versatility. Like when someone sees your height, they think, "Oh, slot guy, another great adjustment here on the fly, running full speed with this adjustment. That you made this look effortless, but that is not an easy play to make."
I agree. I agree.
When people see 5'10", 5'11", they think slot guy. But as we're gonna see here, you have that versatility to line up at X, to line up at Z, and you run a full route tree. You see you going deep. You see you going. You do the dirty work in between the hashes. You seem to enjoy doing the work in between the hashes even more than being on the outside.
Truthfully, I do. I feel like in the box it's a lot easier. I can control a lot of movement, sit in the zone. So I like the box more.
Again, sitting in the zone here, quarterback's gonna find you, make the first guy miss. And that you just physical too. That's enough. You don't see that a lot with receivers. A lot of receivers don't really want contact. You don't mind it.
That's just football. So
Oh, you love it. And talk to what it's like playing against obviously a state championship defense every day in practice. You guys have elite talent on both sides of the ball. So that has to get you prepped for the season. When you show up on Fridays or Saturdays, that's probably like, look, y'all have no idea what I've been through this week with this defense.
yeah,
I'm happy to play somebody else.
yeah. When I go against my defense, like a lot of the times I'll see myself like like not being open during 7-on-7, and I'm like, I don't like this feeling. Like, why am I not getting open? And I just realized like we have great coaches that know where to put us in the right spot. Again, we're going against a monster D line every day. We're going against DBs that've been starting since their sophomore year. Great linebackers. So definitely our defense, I give them all the credit because every single one of them on that defense are dogs, and they make it difficult for me every day.
Who are some of those DBs that you have those battles with at practice every day? Shout some of those guys out because we know what one-on-ones at Columbus have to be like a movie.
Yeah, we all of our DBs, they're like smaller and super underrated, but they work and they don't mess up. That's why Columbus wins. We do our job. So Jeffrey Bandy, smaller DB, and he's perfect with technique. Cameron Pineda, shorter safety, 5'10", super fast. He just gets around. He's a ball hawk. We have Jason Ibarra that he's like a safety, but we move him around like a rover, and he'll come up and hit some people. Jansen Wallace runs a 10-3 in the 100. You can't burn that guy. So we have a bunch of players that are ready to work and do their job. So
And what is it like on obviously you're going against a slew of DBs like that. Shout out some of the guys on the other side of the ball with you, because we know you got a championship defense. Dalen Russell talked about how, he had one of his biggest games, actually the same game you had, one of your biggest games, where he had 11 tackles, massive game on defense. But not to be overshadowed, your offense actually came to play as well and scored the game-winning touchdown. You yourself scored the game-winning touchdown.
yeah, we had a lot leave this year. We have a couple new players coming in, but we have again just a bunch of a whole. We have 2 returning O linemen, and we have about 5 O linemen that are younger, but they're all ready to work, and they're there every day, rotating. Putting in maximum effort, which is all you can ask for from a team. We have a new transfer if we want to keep it on the down low. Bryce Fitzgerald from Belen, 4-star. He's coming over here to help me out on offense. We have JJ Gomez. He kind of just like me, almost like 5'10", smaller receiver, but somehow, some way, he always comes up with the ball. So Benjamin Blackburn, 6'5" tight end. We we have some dogs ready to come. Trust me, it's gonna be a very fun year to watch. I promise you that.
Oh, I gotta find out if y'all are streaming some of those games, bro. I have to tap into some of that. I
I'll
absolutely
definitely
have
let you
to.
know.
Thank you so much for coming on the channel. Hey, let them know where to follow you. I'm gonna link Jose's huddle down here. Don't just watch this video with it. Go back and watch it yourself. It is that damn good. And I will link his Instagram and Twitter. But let the people know where to follow you, bro.
For Instagram, it's just Jose Leon Jr. with 2 R's, and Twitter is _Jose Leon _04.
Go follow him right now. We're going to keep up with him all year. I will let y'all know how he's doing. And when the year is over, we get those senior highlights. We're going to come back on because we're going to see you on the punt return game too. Do you have a goal this year? You have a catch goal and a yards goal and a touchdown goal?
For me, I wanna at least the minimum is 16 touchdowns, because that'd be one in every game. And then
Let's
I
go.
definitely want to pass, 1,000 yards receiving. But my ultimate goal is 20 touchdowns, more than 1,000 yards receiving.
Let's go. Let's go. We have an 1,000-yard year this year. Another thing, to the people that do the rankings out there, give him another star. This don't make no sense. I know y'all don't put a lot of stock into that. This is not him saying it. It's me saying it. It don't make no sense. The film don't lie. Y'all follow
Absolutely.
Jose on social media. He is one of the most dynamic receivers in this class, and he's going to have a great senior season. I will keep y'all informed with him. Thank you for coming on the channel, bro.
Thank you. I appreciate your time.
Like, share, subscribe, do all that fun stuff.
All right, bye.